Today's an inside kind of day. Our houses are actually full of ways we can learn about geometry. Especially mine. I have a rather large collection of triangles. Triangles are shapes that have 3 sides. See this triangle? Let's continue at its leg. And this one. And finally, the hypotenuse, or the longest side. Now the first leg here is 5 inches long, and this one here is 12 inches. And the squares, we can cut them up. Now put them all together into a square, and it fits the hypotenuse, right? So now, we know the measure of that side, 13 inches. Now let's throw in a little vocabulary. If you don't have the convenience of cutting up those nifty little squares, you can use the Pythagorean Theorem. Now, the Pythagorean Theorem states that a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Now, with this glorious tool, we can find any side of any right triangle as long as we have 2 sides. So, if we have a triangle with one side being 12 and one side being 13, we can evaluate with those values. If 12 is squared, 144, and 13 is squared, 169, then 144 plus b squared equals 169. You can isolate the b squared by subtracting the 144, and that shows you that b squared is 25. Is that your value? No. We still have a bit of work to do. We have to find the square root of each value. Since the square root of b squared is b, we have to work a bit more on the 25. The square root of 25 is 5, right. So you know your links are 5, 12, and 13. This even works when you're trying to figure out the distance between points on a graph. If you have a few coordinates, like 7, 19, and 12, -3, you can find the distance between them by forming a triangle. The line here measures 5 units, and B measures 22 units. Now you can evaluate this process with your Pythagorean Theorem. Now, this comes in handy in all kinds of situations. Travel, housework, building. Let's see, one of these situations. Oh, looks like I'll need to wash my windows later. My windows are 9 feet from the ground, and my ladder is 11 feet long. How far from the house should I set the bottom of my ladder? Well, we can determine that with algebra. If the bottom of my house to the window is 1 leg and the ladder is the hypotenuse, the distance from the house to the ladder is my other leg. So we have 9 squared plus b squared equals 11 squared. Post your answers in the comments quickly so I can wash my windows. Now, wait, you can apply this to video games too, for all you dorks out there. Let's pretend you're a sniper perched at the top of a 456-foot building. Your target is 720 feet from the building, forming a right triangle. If your gun has a range of 235 yards from where you're at, can you hit your target? If no, how far away from the building does he have to be for you to hit him? See, even when you're shooting you can use this. And you thought we'd never use this after college. Well, there are triangles everywhere, even those 3-dimensional objects we love so much. When we make picture frames, you obviously need to know how big your glazing points at the corners are. My friends at the Frame Factory are asking us for help with their measurements. A special order has come in for 600 10 by 14 inch frames to hold graduation photos. The glazing points have to be 2 inches on each leg, or the pictures will fall out. How much of this nice glossy mahogany will we need for this order of frames? Now, we can also find right triangles in the surface of objects. You can find it in just about anything: helicopters, books, watches, rifles. Let's take this grid sheet and place it over this image of a watch. Oh look, it's 3 o'clock. How convenient. There is a triangle here, and we can see the distance between the 2 points. See? This is how watchmakers work. Well, that's all I have to teach for you today. Later!